This guy is like the Canadian Jeffrey Dahmer. Today I'm telling you about the mall Santa serial killer who preyed on gay men. Happy Canada Day and happy Pride Month. Let's get into this super messed up story. Bruce MacArthur was born in Lindsay, Ontario. Lindsay. On the 8th of October, 1951. From what I can tell, Bruce had a pretty normal upbringing. Nothing seemingly went wrong. He grew up seemingly normal and married a woman called Janice and had 2 kids. But Bruce had a few secrets. Secret number 1 was that Bruce was gay. And in the 1990s, he started having affairs with men in secret. But eventually he did decide to come out and him and his wife got divorced. The divorce was finalized in 1997 and then Bruce moved to Toronto. Toronto had a much bigger LGBTQ+ community and overall it was a lot more accepting and welcoming. Bruce spent a lot of time in the gay village area of Toronto. He started a relationship with a man called Skandaraj. I'll put his name on the screen. I really don't want to butcher it. I'm gonna say Scan for the rest of the video, just so I don't keep butchering it. So he starts dating this man named Scan. From an outsider's perspective, Bruce was just living his life like everybody else. He was in a relationship, he was finally feeling a lot more himself. Before his serial killer days began, he actually was charged with assault in 2001. According to the report, he attacked someone with a metal pipe. And because of this, he was court-ordered to go and see a psychologist. The psychologist didn't pick up on any weird cues or anything with Bruce. They said that Bruce was remorseful and embarrassed, which was good because it showed that, it was a one-time accident. He won't do it again. He'll do worse. So basically, everyone thought that Bruce was just a normal guy. But you're watching one of my videos, which means he wasn't. Because of these charges, he was actually banned for a while from the gay village area of Toronto. He was also banned from being in the same room or interacting with male sex workers. So at this point, he's not allowed in the area that he spent a lot of his time in. So instead, he downloaded some dating apps and signed up. He worked as a self-employed landscaper, and he was also a mall Santa during Christmas time, which just makes this whole story even creepier. Imagine knowing that you let your child sit on the lap of a literal serial killer. Now, me telling you his job might seem irrelevant right now, but just you wait. Him and Scan broke up in 2008. I don't know why. 2 years after him and Scan broke up, Scan went missing. So in 2010, he went missing. This was not the only disappearance in the gay village area, but they weren't taken seriously because of discrimination. There was a lot of police negligence in this case, similar to what happened with Jeffrey Dahmer. People just didn't take it seriously because they were gay, so who cares, right? A lot of Bruce's victims were not only gay, but also not white, so that also really did not help with the discrimination. And so all these men are going missing, no one's caring about it. Eventually, something was being done about it because a project called Project Houston was started to try and figure out what happened to these people. Apparently, a man came forward to the police saying that Bruce had been in a relationship with Scan, one of the victims. And when police questioned Bruce, he actually denied ever being in a relationship with him. But he did admit to having relations with another victim. Clearly, a lot of effort was put into Project Houston because it got shut down soon after for lack of evidence. Now, huge jump to 2017. 2 men recently went missing in this time, and so the police were investigating the disappearance of one of them called Andrew. He was last seen entering a red caravan, specifically a 2004 red Dodge Caravan. When police started investigating this caravan and who maybe owned it, guess who got a new car? Bruce. Police then set up another task force to investigate this, and when they looked through the missing man Andrew's calendar, it actually had a mark on the day he went missing, saying that he was meeting up with Bruce. And when they looked it up, Bruce was the only person in the area with that exact van. Better yet, the people who were familiar with all of these missing men were like, I recognize that name, because they had interviewed him when the last Project Houston, was going on. Like I said though, Bruce had gotten a new car, but they were able to track down that original caravan where they found Andrew's DNA inside. They then decided to secretly search Bruce's apartment. Now, he didn't know that this happened. What they found inside was pretty disturbing. There was photos of men who were no longer alive, being posed. Like I said, a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not really sure why they didn't arrest him then and there, but maybe it's because they didn't have enough evidence. So what they did is they set up surveillance in his house, so he had no idea he was being watched. On the 19th of January 2019, they were watching his apartment when Bruce suddenly enters with a man. Police were really scared that this was going to be another victim, so they rushed to his apartment. And luckily, they got there in time and they arrested Bruce on the spot. This must have been quite a shock to Bruce because he had no idea that he was being watched or that there were cameras in his house. They entered Bruce's bedroom to find that man tied to the bed with no clothes on, absolutely terrified, moments away from being killed. I can't imagine what that must feel like, knowing that if the police hadn't done all that, you'd be dead. If the police had even been a few minutes late, he could have already been dead. When they brought Bruce in, it was revealed that he had been killing since 2010. So for an entire 9 years, he was killing and nothing was done about it. No one knew. It was also uncovered that he was using his landscaping business to hide the bodies. And so police were able to find a lot of them that way. They also found some of the victims in boxes in somebody else's house. These boxes were in the house of another man. Bruce had struck up this deal with this guy. He was like, if I landscape for you, can I keep a few boxes just on your property? And the guy agreed. It seemed innocent, but no. He was literally hiding dead bodies on this guy's property. Bruce pled guilty to 8 murders, but there could be more that we don't know about. He went all those years and no one caught him, so it is a possibility that there is more. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. But by the time those 25 years come, he'll be around 91 years old. But I doubt that he would even be given the possibility of parole realistically, because from what I can read, he's seen as a very dangerous inmate. So he's probably not going to get out. This is a very frustrating case for me as someone who's part of the LGBTQ community. I hate the idea of police not taking people seriously because they're a minority or because they're gay. Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head. And I'm sure things like that are still happening now, which is just, like, disgusting. But I'm glad the police eventually screwed their heads on and actually decided to solve it, because he could have been still going now. And that's all you need to know about Bruce MacArthur. May all the victims rest in peace, and hopefully there's not another case like this in the future. If you're interested in more true crime content, you're on the right page. Click right down here and it'll take you to my true crime playlist. Real quick, I get a lot of questions about what brushes I use in my videos. These are my brushes. The brand is Do Care. I've been really loving them. You can go on their website, link in my bio. They're super affordable and they don't like come off on your face. Like, they actually stay in one piece. And they're really beautiful and aesthetic as well. They have loads of different colors. If you want to get your hands on these brushes, you can check out their website, link in bio, and use code MEG20. It gives you 20% off, and it's definitely worth your money. Always have amazing deals on, so make sure you get there quick. So no one attacks me in the comments. I mean, absolutely no disrespect when I talk about things like that at the end of my videos. I'm not being paid to talk about those brushes, but I do get a commission if someone buys it with my discount code. But these videos take me a lot of time, so support your creators. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!